Welcome, beloved child of God. I am grateful you are here in this moment. This is not by accident. The Spirit of the Lord has guided you to this message. And I want you to stay with me until the very end, because what you hear today will not only remind you of who you are, it will awaken the reason you were born, and reveal the purpose hidden inside your soul since before the foundations of the world. If your heart is tired, if your spirit feels pressed down by the weight of life, if you have been asking God, why am I here? Why now? Then listen closely, because I am about to show you something that Esther herself walked through. And the same God who positioned her has positioned you. Do not click away. Do not let distractions steal this moment. Because the Lord says to you, you were born for such a time as this. Yes, you, not someone else, not someone more perfect, more confident, more righteous in the eyes of men, but you, right here, listening to the sound of this word. In the days of Esther, danger filled the land. A decree of death hung over God's people. The enemy thought he had won. The people were scattered in fear. But God had already planted the seed of their deliverance inside a young woman who never asked to be chosen. A woman hidden away, far from her family. Raised in the palace of a foreign king, she did not feel powerful. She did not hold an army in her hands, but she carried something greater, the favor of the Lord. And today, I tell you, this same favor rests upon you, though the world shakes and nations rage, though evil seems to rise with greater boldness. Though your own life may feel uncertain and unstable, the Lord whispers into your heart, even now, you are not here by accident. I have placed you here for this generation. You were born for such a time as this. Before I continue, let me gently ask you to do something important. If this word is already stirring your heart, let me know in the comments. Share what God is speaking to you, because your testimony will encourage others who come here searching for light. And do not forget to subscribe. This is a place where we walk together in faith, where every video is a river of peace for your soul. And when you share this with a friend, you become a messenger of God's encouragement to someone who may be on the edge of giving up. Now let us walk deeper, because what God did with Esther is more than a story. It is a pattern, a prophetic call, and a spiritual mirror for your life. Death was hidden. She was not born into royalty. She was an orphan, raised by her cousin Mordecai, yet the Lord hid her identity until the appointed time. Her true name and heritage as a child of God were not seen by the world around her. And maybe this is where you are right now. You feel hidden. You wonder if your prayers are heard. You wonder if your life has true meaning. Others may overlook you, not knowing the mantle God has placed upon you. But child, listen carefully. God hides his treasures before he reveals them. Diamonds are formed in deep, unseen places. Seeds remain in the soil before they break through the earth. And so it is with youth. Waiting, the hiding, the quiet years. They are not punishment, they are preparation. God has been shaping your character, deepening your roots, and building a faith that can stand when storms come. Because when the hour of deliverance arrives, the hidden must rise and shine. Esther did not choose her moment chose her. And the same is true for you this time in history, this place in your life, this generation you are living in. It is not random. God placed you here with intelligence. Every breath you take is proof that heaven still has a plan for you. Now let me show you the heart of the Esther mandate. It is not only about courage, it is not only about favor, it is about obedience to the voice of God. Even when fear surrounds you, Mordecai spoke words that shook Esther's heart. Do not think that in the king's palace you will escape any more than all the other Jews, for if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance will arise for the Jews from another place, but you and your father's house will perish. Yet, who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Do you hear it? The challenge of destiny is not whether you are worthy, the challenge is whether you will say yes. whether you will stand in faith when everything in you wants to retreat, whether you will trust God's hand when your own hands feel empty. Some of you listening right now are in a place where silence feels easier. You have been avoiding the calling God placed on your life. You have been shrinking back because fear whispers, "You are not enough," but hear the word of the Lord. Today, this is not the hour to remain silent. This is not the time to hide away. God has given you a voice, a gift, a testimony, a calling, and it must be released. The Lord has placed you in families, in workplaces, in communities, even online spaces, not by mistake, but by design. You are an Esther, planted in the palace of this generation to carry light where darkness has crept in. But Esther did not go alone. She fasted, she prayed, she gathered her people to seek the face of God together, and it was only after her spirit was strengthened that she approached the king. This is your next step. Child of God, you do not need to rush forward in your own strength. You do not need to fix everything with your own wisdom. You are invited into the secret place, the place of prayer, the place of fasting, the place where your heart becomes aligned with heaven's strategy. Do not think lightly of prayer. It is not empty words. It is not just a routine. Prayer is the very breath of your assignment. It is the doorway through which God pours wisdom, clarity, and supernatural courage into your spirit. It was prayer that gave Esther the boldness to say, "If I perish, I perish." And it is prayer that will give you the courage to walk into the unknown paths God is calling you to now. Hear this carefully, because this is where the cliffhanger of destiny rests for you today. The moment Esther stepped into the king's court, history shifted. Her willingness to act, even in fear, released the deliverance of an entire nation. And in the same way, one step of faith from you may change the future of your family, your city, even your generation. What is God asking you to step into? What door is He calling you to walk through? What silence is He asking you to break? Child, the world is waiting. Your obedience will be the bridge between despair and deliverance for many. You may not see it yet, you may not feel ready, but the same God who raised Esther is the same God who is raising you. Stay with me, because in the next part of this message, I will walk you through exactly how God prepares His chosen ones for their moment of destiny. I will show you the steps to recognize your Esther moment, and I will reveal how you can walk in favor, authority, and peace no matter what the enemy tries to bring against you. But before we continue deeper, I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, do you believe you were born for such a time as this? What has God placed on your heart in this season? Your words may be the confirmation someone else desperately needs. Beloved child of God, thank you for staying with me. The fact that you are still here shows that your spirit is hungry for truth, and I want you to know this. When your heart longs for God, He never turns away. He always responds to the cry of those who seek Him. In the first part, we spoke of Esther's calling, how she was hidden, prepared, and then positioned for such a time as this. But now we must go further. Because it is not enough to simply know you were born for this moment. You must also understand how to walk it out. Esther did not rise to her moment by chance. She was carried by the unseen hand of God, and by a few very specific steps that you also must take. And if you walk in these steps, you too will discover courage, favor, and divine purpose unfolding in your life. The first step is this: trust the season of preparation. Esther did not walk into the king's presence the day she was chosen. For 12 months, she was prepared. 6 months with oil of myrrh, 6 months with perfumes and ointments. It was a season of purification, of stripping away the old and being made ready for her moment. In the same way, God is preparing you. The waiting, the pruning, the closed doors, The unanswered questions, these are not signs of rejection, they are signs of preparation. You are being purified, your faith is being refined like gold in the fire, and though the fire feels painful, it is burning away what cannot go with you into your destiny. Do not despise your season of preparation. The Lord sees the tears you cry in the night. He sees the battles you fight when no one else is watching. But remember this, preparation is not wasted time, it is holy time. And when the appointed moment comes, you will be ready because you allowed God to shape you in the hidden place. The second step is this: recognize the power of favor. When Esther finally stepped into the presence of the king, she did not rely on her beauty alone, she carried the fragrance of favor. The scripture says she obtained favor in the sight of all who saw her. That favor was not earned by her effort, it was a gift from God. And you, child of God, carry that same gift when you walk with the Lord. His favor surrounds you like a shield. Favor opens doors no man can shut. Favor places you before people you could never reach on your own. Favor causes your voice to be heard when others are silenced. Some of you feel like no one notices you, like your gifts are hidden away and your efforts are unseen. But God says, my favor is upon you, and when the right time comes, you will be lifted into places you could never climb by yourself. Do not chase platforms, do not chase recognition, chase my presence, and my favor will chase youth. Third step is this: overcome fear with obedience. When Mordecai told Esther to approach the king, fear gripped her, for it was death to enter the king's presence uninvited, and yet obedience was greater than her fear. She declared with boldness, if I perish, I perish. This is where the battle lies for many of you right now. God is calling you to speak when silence feels safer, to step out when staying hidden feels easier to obey, when fear tells you that you will fail. But hear me clearly, obedience always carries you into blessing. Obedience is the bridge between your present and your purpose, and even if it feels like the cost is too great, God will meet you in that place of surrender with supernatural strength. Remember, Esther did not walk in her own courage, she walked in the courage that came from prayer and fasting. Which brings us to the fourth step: seek God's strategy through prayer. Esther did not rush to the king with her request. She sought the Lord first. She fasted, she prayed, she gathered her people to pray with her, and through prayer, God gave her a divine strategy to expose the enemy's plan. Child of God, never underestimate the power of prayer. Prayer is not just you talking to God. It is heaven releasing wisdom, direction, and power into your spirit. There are battles you cannot win with human strength, but one whispered prayer can shift the atmosphere, break chains, and open doors that have been locked for years. When you feel confused, pray. When you feel weak, pray. When you do not know what to do next, pray, because prayer will give you the wisdom to act at the right time, in the right way, with the right words. Now, let me give you the fifth and final step. Remember that your obedience is bigger than you. Esther's courage did not only save her life, it saved her entire people. Her willingness to act became the deliverance for a nation. The same is true for you. Your obedience to God is not just about your life, it is about your family, it is about your children and your children's children. It is about those you may never meet, who will be touched by your faithfulness. Think of this for a moment. What if Esther had remained silent? What if she had chosen safety over obedience? God would have still delivered his people, but she would have missed her destiny. And the same is true for you. God will accomplish his purposes in the earth, but he has chosen you to be part of it. Do not miss your moment, beloved. You were not born into this generation by chance. The same God who raised Esther has raised you. You carry the Esther mandate, called, chosen, and prepared for such a time as this. So I ask you, now will you say yes? Will you rise in courage? Will you choose obedience over fear? Will you allow the favor of God to position you for impact? Because the hour is here, the world is waiting, and heaven is watching. This is your time. I want you to take a moment now and pause in silence, close your eyes if you can, and whisper to the Lord, "Here I am. Send me." Let your heart surrender fully, and watch how He fills you with fresh strength now. Before we close, let me leave you with this blessing. May the Lord crown you with His favor. May He give you wisdom beyond your years. May He clothe you with courage that does not waver in the face of fear. May He open doors no man can shut, and may your life become a testimony of deliverance for generations to come. You were born for such a time as this. Walk in it boldly. Child of God, your King goes before you. If this word has touched your heart, do not keep it to yourself. Write in the comments what the Lord has spoken to you today. Your words may be the very encouragement another soul needs. Subscribe if you have not yet, because we are walking this journey of faith together, and share this message with someone you love. You never know. Your act of sharing may be the spark of hope that saves a life. Remember, you are not alone. The Lord is with you, and His Spirit rests upon you. You were born for such a time as this. Never forget it.